Give me whiskey. Thursday. I said whiskey.
So, this week in class, okay, so let's go back to the first story.
Yeah.
So, Rex had his idea. He said, look, what if we collected like 100, all the bottles in the vault? Like 460 bottles of whiskey, and we just poured all of them into one barrel.
So this was the mooch kind of, this is a Hail Mary. Long shot. Just pour everything into a bucket for me.
And let's just see what it tastes like.
Right.
No, and I thought that was hilarious.
Well,
but that's a lot of money's worth of whiskey.
It is, and that idea came from doing these videos for you guys.
Right.
And occasionally we would like compare different things, and then we would like mix them together every once in a while.
And it's always good.
And well, usually we could make something pretty interesting.
Right.
And in terms of making things, what if, right, without any kind of
guidance or measurements.
It was just like your taste needs a little bit more of that, a little bit of that.
No.
Just what if we just dumped it in there? And because whiskey's amazing, what would happen if we just dumped a bunch of stuff together? So what do we have?
So what happened was, in our whiskeys classes, we go through 36 whiskeys in 2 days. And every time we do it, we encourage them, don't finish the whiskey once you figure out what you need to know about it. Because you can't drink a solid 36 whiskeys in 2 days and be functional for an education program. So what we always ended up with was the equivalent of like 4 or 5 bottles worth of unconsumed whiskey that we had to throw away every class. And every time I just die on the inside a little. I'm like, oh, right. Ow, 4 or 5
The
bottles
whiskey gods shall smite thee.
Yeah. And so I remembered Rex's comment, and I said, okay, this is last week, this class, let's collect all the unused whiskey from every tasting, all of it for 2 days, and pour it into one barrel.
Okay, so this one barrel, small barrel, this is
5 liter barrel.
This is like 98% whiskey, 2% human spit.
Nice. But it's 45% alcohol. It's going to kill anything that we have an issue with.
No, whatever kind of spit or like backwash.
Yeah.
You know what? So moochy.
Don't care.
I'm going for it.
Okay, so and the barrel is from Copper Run Distillery in Missouri, who are friends of mine, amazing people.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting just in one glass.
Yeah. 36 whiskeys.
36 whiskeys.
Now, I'd previously filled this barrel with moonshine and aged it into an aged whiskey for 6 months. So it's sort of a used barrel that we poured it into.
Okay. Well, do you think that was critical to the process, or was...
Yeah, because it's not going to have a heavy char influence even in the last 48 hours.
This barely fits.
It really barely fits. Ah, it's so good. This is so cool. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's take the bunghole out, which is actually a technical term. That's that part of the barrel.
Wait.
It allows the oxygen to come through as we crack this. But cut that out.
My finger's in the bunghole.
You just wanted.
You know what? It's 98% guys.
You just wanted to be able to say.
By
that.
the numbers, this is 98% guys watching the show. So I feel like
that's true.
I feel like I can.
And you're trying to make sure it stays that way.
No, I love the ladies. They just don't love me.
All right. Do we want to keep this barrel here or move it back out of the way?
That even looks like... It looks better than every whiskey I've ever seen. Ooh.
Oh.
Now,
okay, here's what I got to do that you didn't get to do.
Well, let's tell them what we're smelling. We're just going, oh.
No, well, I'm going to explain, though. We'll get to that, right? So what I got to do that Rex didn't get to do was every time we do 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. Every time we did a combination of 3, which was 9 whiskeys, I tried just the 9 combo before I poured it into here. Right?
Yeah.
And each time it changed a little. And what I was always finding was, even though in all 36 whiskeys, there's only 4 peated whiskeys, or 5 peated whiskeys, the peat shows up even if you just hint at it.
Yeah.
But in every time, I could smell, taste, and I could get the rye, I could find bourbon, I could find the peat, I could find the caramel, and you can really sense everything happening in this.
Now, before you had this class, we did posit a theory. It's like, look, if we dumped everything in here, the really heavy, smoky, peaty stuff,
it's going to take over.
It would just dominate. It would, like, no matter what else you put in there. You put in a bottle of that stuff, and then that's all you're going to taste. But I can definitely smell it, but I can smell a lot beyond that. I'm getting I'm getting the rye.
Now, I am going to put in the comments a list of every single whiskey we put in here.
Yeah.
And we'll read it, but
there is
some rye, right? You can smell this corn.
There's some sweetness beyond the smoke. Behind that smoke, there's a nice amount of sweetness.
Actually, the rye in the nose shows up more than the corn. It's rye and smoke, which is really unusual.
Wow.
Oh, that's so good. It's so good.
Ooh. And it keeps on going. Right?
Yeah.
No, it keeps on going. The flavor changes. I'm like 10, 15 seconds into this thing.
It's still going. This is awesome. I can't believe it worked.
Oh, it's so good. Now,
this may be one of the better blended whiskeys I've ever tasted in my life.
it only took 36.
And in completely unknown proportions. Like, we will never be able to repeat this again because I have no idea what proportions of each whiskey went into this.
This barrel needs an armed guard.
Yeah. We probably have about 1 bottle's worth left in here right now.
So,
Wait, maybe. No, probably 2.
we may need to put it in a bottle because it'll evaporate in here more quickly.
It will, yeah. Now I'm going to let it sit here for a couple of weeks.
Right.
Let the barrel have a little bit of effect on it. And maybe, hopefully, kind of marry the flavors in together. Then I'll bottle it.
The definition of complicated.
Now, what's our name for it?
BLENDAGEDDON.
BLENDAGEDDON. Yes.
Because we're children.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so let's take people through the process here. On the smell, we talked about it. Smoky, obviously, on the front end, but then you do get some of the...
On the very, very front end, I get only rye whiskey.
Okay.
Right? That kind of sparkly, slightly
It
sour
does start
rye.
out light. It starts out surprisingly
Yeah.
light based on the smell.
Then as it goes in, it brings in the early unused oak, kind of sour notes of oak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But unused oak, not used oak. And then in the very back end, it starts to turn into butterscotch for no apparent reason.
The smoke, for me, the smoke isn't a dominating flavor on top of everything. It's a base, a foundational flavor that's just lifting all the other flavors
That's
up.
exactly what's happening. So mostly in smoked or peated whiskeys, you feel like the smoke is either surrounding everything or it's on top of everything. This is the only whiskey I've ever tried in my life where it feels like the smoke is the base layer.
Yeah.
And it's not dominant. It's
Definitely
just there.
It's definitely
Right?
there.
But everything else is over top of it. That's wild.
This is, I'm sorry guys, this has to be so frustrating for you.
I know, you're never going to be able to try.
Well, you know
I
what?
feel like we could pour some into these tastings and mail some people some whiskeys.
You could probably have a few drops if you ever make your way over here to Austin.
Yes.
But
Assuming
now
we still have some.
This is
We'll do this every class.
This is all kinds of exceptional.
All right. Do you want to read the list of what's in here?
Oh God, no.
Are you ready? I'll move quickly, and I'll put it in the comments.
Vanilla, nutmeg.
Oh, wait. You got nutmeg? Hang on a sec.
I got nutmeg. Now
Oh, I get what you're talking about.
the flavor experience.
I don't
It's
get
not just
nutmeg,
like
but I get the nut.
It's not just bam and then you have a couple flavors and it's gone. I mean, you're into this thing 15, 20 seconds and it's still kind of changing and evolving.
Yeah, even the aftertaste is totally different.
Yeah.
Rittenhouse Rye, 4 Roses, small batch, Balcones, single malt, Knob Creek, Sazerac Rye, Deanston, 12-year, Hakushu, 12-year, Evan Williams, Russel Reserve Rye, and that's Evan Williams single barrel, Templeton Rye, Larceny, Oban, 14, Wathens, 8-year-old single barrel, Bushmills, the base level, Ardbeg, 10, Canada Club, 6-year, Redemption Rye, Nikka Coffey, Laphroig, 10, Jameson, Nikka Coffey again, Weller, Collingwood, Michter's Rye, Redbreast 12, Tullamore Dew, Green Spot, Caol Ila 12, Glenrothes, Dalmore 12, Woodford Reserve, Dickel,
Cherry.
Copper
Green
Fox
cherry.
Rye, yeah, because the bird, yeah, Nikka Coffey, Nikka Pure, and Yamazaki 12.
So good.
Oh, and there's also a Harmony, Hibiki Harmony.
But yeah, butterscotch obviously is in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, bros.
Guys. Okay, let's do some comments so we're not totally disappointing everybody. But we're already going kind of long, so we're going to make comments short.
Which one? I'm the comment guy.
What's the oldest? Let's go.
That.
We haven't answered. Wait. I'll tell you the guy. I'm going to calm down. Andrew Webb.
Andrew Webb. All right. Here's a multi-part question.
Andrew Webb.
You're much too excited about this whiskey. What is the? It is an amazing whiskey, but Andrew Webb.
That's pretty dramatic.
Yes. What is the oldest whiskey in the vault? Does longer aging mean better quality? If not, then what? In both of your opinions, mine too.
Oh,
yeah, it's nice. Both of your opinions makes a high quality whiskey. I know Rex is going to say cost. God, I'm not cheap. Or does it really just boil down to personal taste?
the answer is yes. Ah! All right, give it your best shot.
It's personal taste.
I got it. Yeah.
It really is.
It really is personal taste.
No.
Older does not mean better in any whiskey. It means different. And if you remember nothing from this episode, remember, older is not better. Older is different.
Yeah.
It could mean better, and it might not mean better, depending on the distillery and the whiskey.
Yeah. Let me say this about cost, because apparently I'm the cheap bastard.
I'm going to check a number while you're
I'm
doing
the
that.
cheap bastard in this scenario. When it comes to cost, it's fun to try like insanely expensive whiskeys. Like, oh my gosh, it's $1,500 or $300 a pour, and it's crazy amounts of money, and you can't even find it. That's fun. It's exciting. But in my experience, those whiskeys, sometimes it's like, oh, that's great. And sometimes it's like, wow, that's not really what I was hoping for. And you can find things that are incredibly entry level that are truly amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the cost is very little to do with it. It comes down to personal taste. And even what you would get from any whiskey reviewer, what they are going to experience in a whiskey, directionally, you can, listen to what they say and figure out whether or not that's going to be a good fit for you. But in terms of the specific experience that you have, it can be quite different to the point where it's like, I directionally get where they were going, but this isn't for me. So it does come down to personal taste. What Daniel loves, I know there's a lot of people that watch this, they want something friendlier and sweeter.
Yeah.
What I love is free stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got a $2,000 single malt in my cupboard that doesn't even taste half as good as the majority of the $40 bottle whiskeys I have behind me.
should we tell them that we have...
Oh, and by the way, I have a 40-year-old whiskey. That's probably the oldest one in the vault.
Yeah.
40 years old.
40 years old.
And it's a grain whiskey.
Should we tell them that we have a little bit of the...
Oh, God. So, this is if you're still watching 13 minutes in, we have Macallan M.
Now, for those people that aren't in the know, what is this? What is
It's it's like a $4,000 bottle of whiskey made special edition by Macallan,
right,
and delivered in hand-crafted Baccarat crystal.
Right. And at auction, an unopened version,
Anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, and they did a special edition that they made 5 bottles of that last year went for almost $300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the one we have.
No. We have the $4,000, $5,000 bottle, and we're gonna drink it on camera.
I don't care if it's on camera. One way or another, I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah.
If you can come along whenever we get to that, great.
Yeah. All right. Till tomorrow, man. Crazy. Stay this side of legal.
May you return before we have time to miss you.
Cheers.